Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we need to have a very serious, unfiltered conversation about the holy grail of retirement planning. If you have spent even 5 minutes researching how to invest for your future, you have definitely heard of the 4% rule. It is the golden standard that financial advisors have been preaching for decades. The idea is simple. You accumulate a nest egg, withdraw 4% in your first year of retirement, and then adjust that amount for inflation every year after. The core promise of this traditional strategy was that your money would safely last for 30 entire years. It sounds completely foolproof on paper, but I am here to tell you something that might shock you. The 4% rule is officially dead. The financial world has shifted dramatically over the last few years, and relying blindly on this outdated math is one of the most dangerous things you can do for your wealth, because it leaves you incredibly vulnerable to modern market forces. If you stick to this rigid, old-school strategy today, you run a massive risk of running completely out of cash right when you need it most in your older years. So today, we are breaking down exactly why the old rule failed, and more importantly, the modern, flexible strategy you need to use instead to guarantee you never go broke. To understand why the 4% rule is broken, we have to look back at the historical stock and bond data from the early 1990s. The original study assumed a standard, predictable economic environment and a traditional 30-year retirement window. But we are living in a completely new economic reality now, marked by volatile market valuations and higher structural inflation that constantly eats away at your purchasing power. Plus, people are simply living much longer than they used to, meaning that a 30-year survival window is no longer a safe baseline for a modern retirement plan. If you retire early in your 40s or 50s under the old framework, you need your money to last for 40, 50, or even 60 years, and the old math simply does not hold up under that kind of prolonged pressure over time. The biggest flaw in the old rule is that it completely ignores sequence of returns risk. This is just a fancy financial term for a very simple concept, which is that the timing of when you retire matters infinitely more than long-term market averages. If you happen to retire right at the beginning of a brutal bear market or a prolonged economic recession, pulling out a fixed amount forces you to lock in permanent losses. You are essentially forced to sell your investments at absolute rock-bottom prices just to pay for your daily living expenses. This destructive process wipes out your principal balance before the market ever has a chance to recover, creating a downward financial spiral that is impossible to escape. To solve this problem, modern investors are switching to a strategy called the dynamic guardrails method. Instead of blindly pulling out a fixed, unchangeable percentage every single year, regardless of what is happening in the world, you set up intelligent financial tripwires that automatically adjust your spending based on real-time market performance. You establish an initial withdrawal rate, but you create a clear rule that limits your spending if the market takes a massive dive. These guardrails protect your core investments from liquidation during a downturn, but they also allow you to safely increase your spending during a massive bull run. This means you can actually enjoy the fruits of your labor while you are still young and healthy enough to do so. It is a living, breathing strategy that bends with the economy rather than snapping under pressure, turning your portfolio from a rigid math problem into a manageable, stress-free routine. Implementing this approach allows you to protect your principal capital during the worst economic cycles without requiring you to live like a monk forever. You are essentially acting as the pilot of your own financial ship, making micro adjustments to your course based on the weather conditions outside, rather than just locking the steering wheel in place and hoping for the best. It gives you total control and peace of mind, no matter what the stock market does next. I want to hear from you guys now, so let me know down in the comments section below. Have you been planning your retirement numbers around the traditional 4% rule, or are you already looking into more dynamic, modern strategies to safeguard your wealth? Let us start a conversation down there and break down these modern rules together. If you found this perspective helpful and it gave you a better way to view your future, please smash that like button and subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode, and share this video with a friend or coworker who might still be relying on outdated financial advice. Thank you all so much for watching. Keep being smart with your money, stay agile out there, and I will see you all in the very next video.